For millions of Americans, Social Security is a lifeline. Nearly 2/3 of all seniors depend on it for most of their income. It keeps 15 million people out of poverty. And for millions of people who suffer accidents, who get sick, Social Security disability insurance is there when they need it. We must protect Social Security. And that's why we're all here, is to protect Social Security.
If you meet the eligibility requirements, you could receive some financial support starting next month. An official fourth stimulus check plan has been proposed, and remember everybody, that the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. I want to see every member of my community receive the much-needed stimulus payments. So Chuck Schumer is now urging lawmakers to make progress on annual government spending bills. On the Senate floor, Chuck Schumer said that he plans to sit down with Democratic lawmakers later this week to discuss the state of negotiations. That's done to pass a government bill within the next few weeks. So it would be really crazy if the government did shut down, and even if it was just a couple of weeks. Government shutdowns cause the disruption of government services and programs. It's even if lawmakers fail to pass an annual new government spending bill. The SSA, which is the Social Security Administration, has a contingency plan that would help the agency continue to operate, even in the event of a government shutdown. Lawmakers have until February 18th to reach an agreement on spending for fiscal year 2022, which could begin in October under the previous year's temporary continuing resolution passed last month. Under the previous year's spending levels, if Congress fails to pass a spending deal for fiscal year 2022 and instead opts for a continuing resolution, it will mark the third time that Congress had to resort to such measures since spending negotiations began last year. For homeowners who have fallen behind on the mortgages in the country, well, there is some support available to help you pay off things like property tax, insurance bills, and your mortgage. Specifically for anyone in California, there is a new California Mortgage Relief Program, which will offer support of up to $80,000 to deal with the areas that have been hit hardest. Sources told Newsweek that the crisis has left many California homeowners struggling to cover their mortgage costs. The program is designed to help low to moderate income Californians who have lost their jobs or experienced financial hardships due to the crisis and fallen behind on their payments to get caught up and start fresh. The California Mortgage Relief Program is funded by a $1 billion grant from the federal government, which put aside $10 billion for mortgage assistance in March as part of the American Rescue Plan. Then the money was split up between the Treasury Department, depending on each state's population of unemployed workers and borrowers with mortgages. The California Mortgage Relief Program has been introduced to help homeowners who were already behind on their mortgages as a result of the crisis. Residents of New York are also in store for more financial relief. New York has been granted $540 million by the federal government. The state recently began accepting applications for its Homeowners Assistance Fund. Now the government said this program is the first of its kind in the country, and that New York was the first state to receive this kind of federal funding. Virginia was awarded $250 million in stimulus relief funds from the U.S. Treasury just to support homeowners facing housing instability resulting from the crisis. Housing Virginia's Mortgage Relief Program is using these funds to assist people to help ease the mortgage defaults, foreclosures, and displacements of homeowners experiencing financial hardship. Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania are the latest states to announce government approval of their homeowner assistance programs. A new program with the Tennessee Housing Development Agency launched, and that is geared toward helping those who have faced financial hardships due to the crisis. Those who apply can receive up to $40,000 per household to help pay housing costs, including past due mortgage payments, property taxes, and even more. Thank you again for your support, everybody. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best in answering.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much. Look, I'm going to... Thank you. Governors, it's a pleasure to have you all here, and I'm glad you're having an opportunity, and my cabinet and overall team is getting a chance to meet you all, know you personally, and engage with you on the great concern that you have. You know, I had a chance.
At this unprecedented moment in American history, when we're trying to address the crisis of climate change, guarantee health care for all, and pass real immigration reform, the last thing we need, don't let it happen, please.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So let's go over the very important stimulus check news. Nancy Pelosi and senators in Congress want to include more relief into the new reconciliation bill. Pelosi now faces a tightening squeeze between progressive and moderate Democrats over passing two key elements of President Biden's economic agenda. Progressive lawmakers say they will vote down the Senate-passed infrastructure bill unless it is linked to a multi-trillion-dollar social safety net bill. That includes expanding health care, paid leave benefits, tackling climate change, and raising taxes on the wealthy.
From the very beginning, my stated goal for the July and August work period has been that the Senate pass both a bipartisan infrastructure bill and a budget resolution.
But now 9 moderate Democrats say they will not vote to begin writing the $3.5 trillion bill until the House passes the infrastructure legislation the Senate passed last week and then sends it to Biden's desk. The party is fighting over legislation. For the most part, the Democrats agree that they should pass, but the order in which the bills move through Congress has become a battle between moderates and progressives who are holding to maximize their leverage to shape both bills. For months, Pelosi has vowed to take the path preferred by her liberal members, which is backed by the White House.
And so I'm calling on private insurance companies, don't hide behind the fine print and a technicality. Pay what you owe your customers. Cover temporary housing costs and natural disasters. And help those in need. That's what we should all be doing now.
But she has a long track record of working to protect the moderate faction of her caucus, whose political futures are likely to determine whether she remains in control of the House. Pelosi has suggested a way out Sunday in a letter to caucus, in a letter to her colleagues. The rules of committee could set up a process to advance both measures at the same time. Her Deputy Chief of Staff, Drew Hamill, said her position has not changed. The House will not vote on final passage of the infrastructure bill until the Senate passes the other spending bill, and this is a process that could still take weeks. But the 9 moderates appear to reject that approach, saying in a joint statement that they appreciate her offer, but that their view remains consistent on passing infrastructure first. Both packages are popular and Democrats plan to run on them in the midterms, hoping voters will reward them for delivering results. House Democrats adopted a budget resolution that is needed to unblock a filibuster-proof $3.5 trillion package of domestic spending and tax breaks and teed up a vote on the Senate bipartisan infrastructure bill next month. The 220 to 212 vote capped off an eventful 24 hours of negotiating between Democratic leaders and a group of 10 party moderates who had planned to vote against the budget unless the infrastructure vote came first. And while they did not get that demand met, they did get the leadership to agree to holding the infrastructure vote no later than September 27th, a few days before the surface transportation authorizations are set to expire on October 1st. The budget was deemed